The first time a lot of people really feel afraid of AI is not when they read a headline. It is when they sit in front of their own computer. You ask it to write a piece of code, build a small tool, clean up a plan. A few seconds later, something usable is sitting on the screen. And for a second, you do not feel amazed. You feel a little cold. Because the question that shows up is very simple. If this thing can do that, what am I still worth? That is an ugly question. But it is real. The scary part of AI is not that it can chat. The scary part is that abilities that used to be expensive are becoming cheap enough for ordinary people to use. Think about programming. For a long time, becoming a software engineer meant a very long road. By the time you finish a computer science degree, you may have spent about 16 years in school. If you go through graduate school, that number can become 18 or 19 years. And that still does not include internships, real projects, debugging, production problems, and all the boring pain that never appears in a course description. That is why software engineers were expensive. Not because they typed magical letters, because the gate was high. Most people looked at the code, the errors, the frameworks, the weird symbols, and stopped right there. But now that gate is lower. Top engineers still matter. Complex systems still need real judgment. But basic code, simple pages, small scripts, internal tools, and automation tasks are already being swallowed by AI tools. In the past, if you wanted a small tool, your first thought was, I need a programmer. Now the harder part is often not typing the code. The harder part is knowing exactly what you want the machine to make. This is not a fantasy. GitHub reported in 2023 that 92% of surveyed US or developers were already using AI coding tools at work or in personal projects. Stack Overflow's 2025 developer survey also showed that more than 80% of respondents were using or planning to use AI tools in development. When programmers themselves are using AI to write code, this is no longer a future trend. It is already inside the work. And the next part is even more uncomfortable. AI is not staying inside the screen. It is getting a body. For a while, people could still say, okay, office work may change, but physical work is safe. But the thing entering the room now is not just a chatbot. It has cameras, arms, sensors, wheels, sometimes legs. AI becomes the brain. Robots become the body. The brain understands the environment. The body moves, lifts, sorts, delivers, and repeats. Of course, we should not exaggerate this. Robots have not replaced everyone. But the factory numbers are no longer science fiction. The International Federation of Robotics reported in 2024 that more than 4.28 million industrial robots were operating in factories around the world. At that scale, robots are not movie props. They are another kind of labor body entering the market. So the real question is not, will programmers disappear? Or will factory workers disappear? Most jobs do not vanish overnight. What usually happens is quieter. The job is still there. The paycheck is still there. But the bargaining power gets thinner. The most standard, repeatable, easy-to-check part of the job becomes cheaper first. A company used to buy your time. Now the company starts doing a different calculation. Does a person need to do this? Can AI make the first version? Can a machine run the first pass? Can one person who knows how to use AI replace the basic execution of several people? Hard work still matters. But if your hard work is only repeated execution, it is not worth what it used to be. Machines getting stronger is not the most dangerous part. The dangerous part is staying the same after machines get stronger. If all you know how to sell is your time, then you are standing in the cheapest part of the market. So what should an ordinary person do? The opportunity is hidden in the same place as the threat. AI lowers the cost of trying. For the first time, many ordinary people can test ideas that used to die before the first step. Before, you might have an idea, but the cost stopped you. You needed a developer. You needed a designer. You needed someone to build a page, write a script, organize the material, or make the first version. Now you can at least run a rough test. Maybe it is ugly. Maybe nobody buys it. But you moved from, I have an idea, to, I tried it once. That step matters. Because in the old world, ideas were cheap and execution was expensive. Now a piece of execution has become much cheaper. So the valuable part moves. Can you find a real problem? Can you find real people who have that problem? Can you turn one delivery into a repeatable process? That is where a side income starts to make sense in the AI age. A side hustle should not just mean selling your time twice. If you work during the day, then work again at night, you have not built freedom. You have just split yourself into 2 shifts. The better version is different. Use AI to reduce the cost of delivery. Then turn your experience, taste, and judgment into a small, repeatable system. Not a vague idea. A specific group of people. A specific kind of problem. A recurring task they do not want to handle. If you can remove that pain, you are not selling random labor. You are selling relief. That is also how I think about using AI now. It is not just a chat window. It is more like a small personal production line. Some parts are repetitive. Some parts are slow. Some parts are easy to mess up. AI can take the first pass. Then the human still makes the judgment. What to keep. What to cut. What direction to take. AI does not think your life through for you. It just helps you put an idea into the real world faster. And almost everyone can look at their own work this way. What part repeats? What part wastes time? What part used to require another person? That is where AI can become more than a toy. It can become a tool of production. So the subscription fee is not the real question. The question is, did you buy a toy or did you buy a tool? Most subscriptions make you consume more. Used correctly, AI tools can help you produce more. Money works the same way. In the last few episodes, the same question kept showing up. Where does the money go? A raise gets eaten by lifestyle upgrades. A cheap deal pulls you through a low-price door. Shopping feels good before the product even arrives. The stock market sells you a feeling of control. In the AI age, money has even more places to run. AI courses, AI tools, AI projects, AI stocks, robot stories. Everyone sounds like they are saying the same thing. Get in now, or you will miss your chance. And that is exactly when your life needs to be lighter. Fewer fixed expenses, less long-term debt, more cash flow. That is not cowardice. That is oxygen. Low desire does not mean never spending money. It means spending less on things that make you weaker and more on things that make you stronger. An AI tool can belong in the second category. Learning can belong there. Automation can belong there. Small project tests can belong there. But only if they help you make something, serve someone, test a product, or improve delivery. If they only make you feel entertained, they are still consumption. After your life is lighter and your ability is getting stronger, then we can talk about long-term investing. And here, the first rule is simple. Do not start by trying to guess the next 10-bagger AI stock. Most ordinary people cannot tell which company is the real winner, which company is only telling a good story, and which company has already priced in too much of the future. A more ordinary, more boring, and often more realistic path is an index fund that tracks the S&P 500 or a similar large USD market fund. According to S&P Dow Jones indices, the S&P 500 covers about 80% of available US market capitalization. So you are not betting your whole life on one AI story. You are buying a basket of large American companies. This is not investment advice. It can still fall. It can still hurt. But for an ordinary person, putting long-term money into a basket of strong companies usually makes more sense than putting survival money on one exciting story. If you want to touch the exciting stuff, fine. But use money you can afford to lose. Let it be interest. Do not let it become your lifeline. So this episode looks like it is about AI, robots, and the future of money. But underneath, it is asking an old question. Can your time only be sold to one buyer? And is your money always helping someone else get rich? When AI gets a brain and robots get a body, the worst game for an ordinary person is trying to be cheaper than the machine. You cannot win that game. Machines do not get tired. They do not get anxious. They do not pay rent. So the answer is not to work like a cheaper machine. The answer is to change the structure of your life. Spend less on things that weaken you. Buy more tools that make you stronger. Use AI to build a small production line around your own judgment. Use a side income system to reduce the risk of one salary. Use long-term assets to hold a piece of the growth that is happening around you. Real financial freedom in the AI age is not a robot making you rich overnight. It is what happens when mental execution and physical execution both become cheaper and you stop selling every day to only one buyer. You start to have judgment. You start to have systems. You start to have cash flow. You start to have assets. And slowly you begin to own your own way of making money.